Ah, Cuphead. It really does appear so innocent on the surface. A beautiful art style, cute characters and cheerful, upbeat music mask the brutally difficult game that hides underneath. Now, like many, I jumped on this game at launch after seeing the incredible reviews and the promise of co-op gameplay, and I rubbished the claims that its difficulty level was super high. Ultimately, quitting the game entirely for 2 weeks, taking a further 2 weeks to get every achievement, and having multiple mental breakdowns and nightmares along the way, I was eventually convinced that perhaps people weren't overreacting. On top of all of the times that I died inside, I also died nearly 900 times in-game during this experience as well.
So we're starting this DLC, 874 deaths. Let's see what we get to.
Now, fast forwarding nearly 6 years, fashionably late to the party as always, and with my psychiatrist number on speed dial, I'm back and I'm ready to attempt the DLC trophies for this game. This DLC comes with an estimated achievement difficulty of 6 out of 10, so not as difficult as the main game, but it's probably best we still make a structured approach to the suffering. Step 1 is going to entail us defeating every single boss in the DLC with at least an A- rank. Step 2 is going to require us to power the secret relic, and then step 3 is going to task us with defeating the entire King's Gauntlet. So let's get into it. So the delicious last course introduces us to Miss Chalice, who has somehow got herself stuck in the astral plane. Straight away she takes us to Chef Saltbaker, who tells us that he can free her from the astral plane, but we need to collect 5 ingredients for him so he can make this wonder tart. These 5 ingredients can only be obtained from killing the 5 bosses in this DLC. So the first thing we do is collect a couple of coins so we can purchase the crack shot ability. Now this ability fires tracking missiles at enemies, and it's definitely the most OP weapon we can use. One of the coins I needed was in this basic tutorial level, and the amount I struggled with this was a real red flag before we'd even got started with the bosses.
Oh, I see. Oh, you twat.
After that first episode of pure embarrassment, and definitely not the last, I get my final coin and I can finally purchase this ability.
Struggled even with that. So it says by crack shot, so there we go. We bought that straight away, confirm.
With crack shot obtained, we were finally ready to get stuck into the first boss, which was the Moonshine Mob.
Don't know the buttons, which could make things interesting.
So as I said previously, I'm needing to get at least an A rank on each of these boss fights, and it actually isn't as bad as it sounds. In this final results screen here, we can see a whole breakdown of different items. What we're generally aiming for is to finish each boss fight in good time, whilst getting at least the 3 parries and the 6 super meter uses. If we manage to achieve all of this, we can generally end each fight with any amount of health and still achieve the rank needed. Now the next thing to do is to cover exactly what all of that actually means. Parries are a really important mechanic in Cuphead. As you'll see on the screen behind, occasionally there are these pink projectiles and other items that will appear on the screen. If we press the correct button as they pass us, we will parry them, adding 1 to our counter. Parrying these items also adds to our super meter, which we can see in the bottom left hand corner. This also feels as you damage the boss, so there are a few ways to charge this up. So what we need to do is parry 3 of those pink projectiles in each boss fight, and then use 6 bars of our super. We can either save up 5 bars, which is the maximum, and use it to unleash an ultimate ability, or we can use them one at a time for a slightly less powerful form of attack.
Okay, I got about halfway through. This is really difficult already. Oh no.
So with all of that covered, I think it's probably best for my first death montage. Needless to say, it took a little while to get back into the swing of things, and I died a lot along the way.
Did take damage there. How do I dodge that? Okay, it's this one. It's... I'm getting like halfway. To be honest, I can't remember how to use this. I don't... Use that shot? Oh, mate. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Flipping out. It got me straight to it. Right.
After a whole lot of pain and suffering though, this was finally it. The hands were shaking, the sweat was dripping down my face, and I was gripping onto life by a single hit point, but eventually the knockout banner appeared and we were done, right?
Oh yes, we got a first kill. We did awful. One parry in like... It said knockout. How am I supposed to know? Can't give me the fucking smoke this time. I did it again, you idiot!
One singular death later and we were back again though. Will we actually manage it this time?
I see. Oh, I got a parry at the end as well. I think I got like everything there. Oh, I got 2 out of 3 parries. I got another achievement as well. Alive and kicking. Oh, I got an A-. That's not bad. You need to get at least an A with everything. So I've got 2 achievements. We survived our first fight. So that's not bad. Not bad. I think I need to be a bit faster. And I needed a 3rd parry. But still.
So with the first boss down, we had 4 left to go. I won't do a big montage for each fight. Generally, although the bosses get a little bit tougher, your skill increases at the same time, so they never feel completely unfair or out of reach to beat. Our second boss fight was Esther Winchester, and to be honest, we got this down pretty quickly. It went so well in fact that we actually proceeded to spend a further 2 hours trying to perfect the fight so we could get our S rank achievement. I was so in the zone that I didn't realise my mic was muted, and when I was finally successful, I realised I couldn't even get an S rank. You need to be on expert difficulty for that. I've got the S rank achievement in the main game, so I probably should have known better. Well, that's 2 hours of my life I'm never getting back. On we go.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
Okay, last time we were let down by this, weren't we? Hey.
Coming back to the game a day later, feeling refreshed and recovered from our latest bout of stupidity, we fly through the remaining bosses with relative ease. We pick up all 3 of our next A ranks within an hour and we're feeling pretty good with ourselves.
That's an achievement, a vacation in the wilds. Defeat every boss. And I got an A- as well. Wow, okay. So I've got at least an A- in every boss, I think.
Now, our A rank achievement didn't pop here, and that's because it turns out we weren't quite done yet. We returned to the chef to save our friends, but it turns out his shop is now empty. We travelled down the open hatch and we're met with skulls, bones, and an eerie outline of a knife-wielding maniac, which is never a particularly good sign.
Well, this is promising. There's skulls and bones everywhere. Oh, okay, he's gone crazy. Of course I'm back soon, mate. I'm bloody good at this game. Oh, no! It's weirdly cute, isn't it? We'll use our heads as serving dishes. What a nice guy. Oh, shitting fuck.
One final fight awaited us against the chef here, and once again he really wasn't that bad. We got a bunch of death along the way, but with a bit of persistence we got him down and our final normal boss was defeated.
Oh man, I'm throwing. Mate, I was doing so well and I absolutely crumbled. Please tell me I still got it. Please, 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 please. I think I've got everything else. It might be the time. That boss wasn't too bad. Some of the other ones were definitely worse. A minus. Oh, stress. Achievement Ranger. There you go, so that's an A rank on all bosses. So that wasn't too bad actually. Oh, and I got another one. Compliments to the chef. Complete your quest on Inkwell Isle 4. So that's the main quest done. You deserve that. Fuck you. Oh, bless her. It's actually really cute.
With all bosses defeated and expert difficulty finally unlocked, the first thing I wanted to do was finally get that S rank. I won't show loads of attempts, but I will leave the full S rank running here. Expert speeds up attacks and I think the bosses have more health, but as with everything in Cuphead, it becomes pretty manageable with a bit of practice. About an hour later, I finally got this down.
Oh, what the fuck? Done with parries. Pile into him here. Whoa. Got a bit close, but that's a lot of damage. Parries again. Go to top. Pile in. Lots of damage there, that's really decent, that is very quick. If we can have a good second phase, we might have a chance. Say might, it's never guaranteed with me, I can always mess something up. I haven't done much damage on there. Decent. That's decent too. That's decent as well. Fine. Can do that. Good. Oh, okay, that's really good. Please give me the time. That's a really good run. Oh, get him! 148. What a run. That was flawless. Really happy with that. There we go. That's a tough one done. God, I'm sweating.
We now had some quick and easy miscellaneous achievements to pop up. First thing we did was kill a boss with Miss Chalice's super for an achievement.
There we go. That's for getting the finishing touch with a special, Miss Chalice's special.
We then went back to the old original base game bosses and killed a few of them to get an achievement for killing 10 as Miss Chalice.
1 HP, this isn't going well. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that's Decadence, that's for killing 10 different bosses with Miss Chalice.
And finally, we killed one of the DLC bosses without killing any of its minions, and just like that we were 3 achievements better off.
Yep, there you go. So Hi-Hats, that's for killing a boss on DLC without killing any minions.
Next up were the 2 achievements tied to the relic I mentioned earlier. So to get this done, the first thing we had to do was talk to these 3 characters and use their answers for the next step. Using those answers, we had to activate these gravestones in a specific order, and with the gravestones activated, we then got to activate this new boss fight and we had to defeat them to unlock a relic.
I finally figured it out. And something else do it like that. That was a struggle. There we go. So that's a horrible night to have a curse. That's the first part of this kind of like Easter egg done.
To turn the cursed relic we've received into the divine relic, we had quite a challenge on our hands. So the cursed relic limits you to 1 HP and it randomly switches your weapon constantly. You need to defeat 6 bosses with this cursed relic active to be able to upgrade it. Fortunately, you can essentially cheese this. Just plug in a second controller and play as your second controller instead, let your first controller die and finish the boss fights. So 6 short boss fights later with the second controller, we were all done.
Obtain great powers. That's for powering up the cursed relic. That's that done now. Bit cheesy, but we did it.
At this point in time, all we had left was to defeat the King's Champions and then the Gauntlet. So the King's Champions are a set of 5 bosses which you defeat purely with parries. Most of these are super easy, so we'll break them down as we go.
So it's like a gauntlet of enemies, and one achievement you've got to do it all in one go.
First up are the pawns. These are definitely the easiest fight. They just randomly jump down from above you and you have to parry any of the ones with the pink heads until they're all cleared. If you struggle here, the Gauntlet probably isn't for you, I'm afraid.
Nice. First one done.
Onto the knight, and this horse was the absolute bane of my existence. You need to parry him 20 times in total to defeat him, and he has 3 different attacks he uses. Unfortunately, the hitboxes are very hit and miss, and they're seemingly huge at times, so it's quite hard to avoid getting hit. This one took me absolutely forever, and I thought it was going to defeat me at one point. I'm nightmares even now.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm here, bro. Oh shit. 19, 20. My god, that was pretty clean in the end, but that was a flipping struggle. What an awful boss.
Boss number 3 was a bishop, and this was super easy. His head floats around and candles light up behind him. All you need to do is jump at the candles to extinguish them. When they're all extinguished, parry his head, then rinse and repeat. I really wish they were all this easy.
Maybe? Nice. Nice. That one wasn't bad at all, to be honest.
Boss number 4 was the rook. Honestly, other than the horse, these are all quite easy. Pink heads will fly at you, all you need to do is parry them back at the boss to damage him. The more damage you do to him, the more projectiles will be flying across the screen at you. It can get a bit overwhelming, but if you concentrate and pile in the damage early, you should have enough health to make your way through it.
Oh my god, I thought I was about to kill myself. Sweet. That wasn't too bad either, to be honest. Quite easy. Reward wealth untold. 2 coins.
And the final boss was the queen. You'd think the final boss would be tough, but this was super easy. Parry the pink tower if it crosses the screen at you, dodge the projectiles from above, and parry the cannons when they're facing the queen to damage her. Super simple, and I think I actually managed this one on my first attempt, so it really can't be that bad.
Nice. Might be the easiest one, for God's sake. That might be all of them dead. I hope. My new champions, the remaining spoils. There you go, so that's checkmate achievement unlocked.
Now that's all of the King's Champions killed, but there is still the Gauntlet. I thought this would kill my chances at the whole completion, so the Gauntlet is all 5 of the King's Champions back to back with no checkpoints. Your health does refill between bosses, but if you fail, then back to the start you go.
Well, I thought you could kind of like just leave and rejoin, but no, you've literally got to do the whole thing more. So this might be an experience.
Run number 1, the pawns were killed with ease, and the knight too. I thought it was a guaranteed success at this point, but I died to the bishop, who is probably the easiest fight in the whole thing. Turns out I wasn't actually on the gauntlet that time, so it wouldn't have counted anyway, so I let myself off.
Oh, the gauntlet's there, I see. I wouldn't have unlocked anyway.
Run number 2, died to the pawns, don't want to talk about it, don't want to hear about it. Run number 3, pawns dispatched, just barely, but it still counts. But we died to the knight as expected. Was this the start of a really bad downturn? Possibly.
I hate that cunt. We know what we're doing. Just piecing it all together in one run is quite a lot. Press wrong button. I pressed X.
Run number 4, the pawns were dispatched with relative ease, but we were destroyed by the knights, again.
I got fucked right over there, what the fuck?
Run number 5, pawns yes, knight yes, incredibly, bishop yes, but we crumbled on the rook. Progress is being made, we're getting pretty close.
Awful, fucking awful run. Now I'm all the way back to the start. Me.
Our next run, however, this happened. I'll just let the knockouts play out for you.
Nice. 19. Nice. 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 I just took the hit because I knew it was the last one. 3 out of 5. That is so clean. 4 out of 5. Come on. Get in. That should be it, hopefully. I did that so quickly, it took me an hour. Under an hour because I hung off him. There you go, that's the King's Admiration. God, I was really worried about that. I smashed that. So now that's done. That's the whole of that DLC done. I've just got one random achievement left, so let's get it done quickly.
And there we have it, the Gauntlet was conquered. The eagle-eyed among you will notice we're still missing an achievement. This was added in a title update and it's just for getting 9 HP, so we modded that up afterwards and we were all done. A tough challenge at times, but what a fantastic game. On to something harder next maybe? Only time will tell.
That's all the achievements done. There we go, 42 out of 42. Awesome. Finally done.
And I almost forgot, final death count, over 200 for the DLC.